Next thing, have a roadmap. We talk about roadmaps a lot at Oodle. In fact, we just renamed it last night. We're evolving as an organization. A roadmap only represents one thing, right? An atlas represents a lot of roadmaps, multiple ways to do things, multiple things that have to happen. And the truth is, as an organizations, we not only need a marketing roadmap, we need an organizational roadmap. We need to understand where our business is going and how the marketing objectives fit into that business, and then how the marketing activations happen. This seems so simple, and it seems so easy. Like this is the most misunderstood slide maybe in anything that we'll talk about today. The number of organizations that I've talked to, even sitting in the room with the C-suite, when I ask, what are your business objectives? They're like, oh, we want more sales. Wait a minute, that's not a very good objective, right? I want to own the market share in this space, or I want to expand and grow into different spaces. Now, not every organization is as inept as I'm describing, but you kind of get the principle here. We have to understand the business objectives very, very clearly as marketers before we can turn them into marketing objectives, and then before we can turn them into marketing activations. So often, we start on the right, and we say, the easiest thing for me to do is to turn this on, right? The easiest thing to do is for me to produce this thing. It doesn't align with the marketing objectives, doesn't align with the business objectives, and then all of a sudden, your boss is looking at you like, what have you done for me lately? So, another piece of advice that I have with regard to aligning those objectives is you have to understand where your business is, where we or you as a marketing person want to go, and your organization's willingness to get you there, right? So we've been talking about the impatience of the C-suite, and I feel like I'm beating up on them, but for good reason. So if you're in an organization that wants sales today, do you think you can advance on the roadmap of where you want to go in your marketing sophistication in 1 year? The answer is probably no, right? It's going to be a long journey in a lot of cases. You want, let's say, a CRM to help you with first-party data sets. Well, that implementation takes a long time. If your organization is not willing to invest in that, as an example, then you trying to collect that information and push it, it feels like you're pushing a ball uphill, and it just keeps falling down. It doesn't work. So plotting yourself on some kind of roadmap that says, here's where I think our organization needs to be with marketing sophistication, here's where we are now, here's where our competitors are, and here's how long I think it'll take us to get there, is absolutely something that all marketers should be doing more of. In practice, it turns into something like this, right? That little cutesy roadmap with a little car of, choose your own adventure, where are you? That's not really practical. This is. This is what it turns into as part of like a multi-year journey, multi-year plan. We want to, fiscal year 19, do all these things, all the way up to, in this case, fiscal year 2023. And so, how do you get to this point? This is a multi-year journey that is going to take, in some cases, millions and millions of dollars to be able to achieve some of these things to increase our level of sophistication in marketing. It's hard. It's very difficult. You need not just your marketing team involvement, your sales team, your finance team, your operations groups, your distribution groups. All these different parts go into this multi-year roadmap. But how do you get there? Like, how do you get the alignment of the entire organization to say, I want to spend, let's just pick a number, $5 million over the next 4 years to advance our sophistication in marketing? It's not going to tie directly to results. I just need you to invest because our marketing will be better later. Well, a really practical way to do this is a consulting framework that is the Magic Quadrant. And so in this T-chart, I love doing this exercise with clients. And I always, when we do it, we have multiple stakeholders in the room. Do not do this with just by yourself. This is an exercise that is done in a group setting with all the stakeholders involved that you think are important to this process. What it is a way for you to reach alignment and talk about things that are not. Simple framework, T-chart. The vertical axis is impact. The horizontal axis is urgency. So if you have something that's high impact, high urgency, and you could actually make an argument, and I think maybe this slide's messed up, it's actually supposed to be effort. So high urgency or high effort in this case. You end up in a place where you can define a quadrant where when you do the Post-it note exercise of like, write down all the objectives that you think are important. They could be small, they could be big. And then you plot them on this T-chart as part of this exercise. And you're gonna see pretty quickly, visually, how some of the things are like low impact because they're low impact, low urgency, high effort, or the things that you should be doing like next week. It bubbles up very, very quickly. And that becomes a very easy way for you to plot at least your next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And then some of those other things that are in the quadrants that are not the magic quadrant end up being your multi-year objectives. The things that are going to take more time, energy, a lot of involvement from other groups. And it doesn't mean they're not important. It just means there's so much more effort that you don't do them yet. You don't do them now.